Hello, my lovely little morning doves. Welcome back to Holy Shit, I'm Not Dead. Nope, okay, hi, sorry, it's been a while. Yeah, so this is gonna be a little bit of just a chatty video with kind of a life update, letting you guys know where the hell I've been for like a month, because I think it has been a little over a month since I posted anything, and I really felt like sitting down. I have so much shit I should be doing right now, but I really felt like sitting down and just kind of going over with you guys what the hell I've been doing, because October is like the busiest month of the year for me, not just because I'm like an alternative person and I'm Halloween, obviously, like my whole life is freaking Halloween anyways, but this October particularly I just had so many plans, and then so much other stuff kind of happened at the same time and just kept me so busy that YouTube kind of got put on hold. And I'm really sad about that because I feel like some of this stuff would have been really fun to share with you guys, but at the same time I didn't want to take away from the experiences that I was having by spending them looking through a camera, if you know what I mean. Immediately into October, I think like the first weekend of October, like the 6th or whatever, I went to Milwaukee for the weekend, for I think like a long weekend, to visit some friends. All of my friends from art school who I literally haven't seen for 2 years since we graduated college together. I've seen a couple of them, like obviously I've talked about Courtney all the time. I see Courtney all the time anyways. She's my bestie. We always see each other. But a lot of these people I have only seen maybe once or twice since we graduated, if at all. A lot of them not at all. So it was so nice. We all got an Airbnb and we went and we just hung out in Milwaukee for the weekend. We went to a comedy club for an improv night, which was super fun. We played a lot of games ourselves. A lot of the time we just stayed in at our Airbnb and like hung out and played games and got food, and it was honestly so much fun. I felt like I was in college again, just being with all of them. It was such a lovely flashback. It was like we had never been apart. Yeah, it was such a good time. So that was really nice. 2 weeks after that, it wasn't like the next week, but the week after, I went to Marquette, Michigan, and now that's where I actually went to college. I went back to the place that I went to college at, with Haven and his boyfriend Zach, because Haven had a wedding to go to up there. A couple of his friends who went to the same college as us were getting married there in Marquette because that's where they met. It was super cute. So naturally I was like, hell yeah, I want to go with. So took another 5 days and went up there. So we actually drove. We took a train to my parents' house. They picked us up there. We borrowed one of my parents' old cars that they're actually like trying to sell. But we borrowed one of their old cars and we drove 6 hours because yay, the speed limits have been raised. It used to be about an 8-hour drive, but between the fact that they raised the speed limits a little bit and we speed, we got there in about 6, so it was great. But yeah, so this is the first time I was back in the Upper Peninsula since I had left. It was really, really nice. It was kind of emotional. Yeah, it's just something that I've really been missing. I absolutely love it up there. I have some really close family friends up there who let us stay with them, and it was so great to see them again. They're like another set of grandparents to me. So that was absolutely beautiful, and since Haven's boyfriend had never been there before, we did the whole experience. We went hiking on this mountain called Sugarloaf. We went out to our favorite hiking spot at Dead River. Again, I'll be posting photographs from that experience because it was super fun. I took my nicer camera with me so that I could get nice photos while we were out there. Dead River was a super fun one because one side of the river is like there's a path and you follow it, and it's like, it's not easy hiking, but there's a path. And then later on we found a way to cross the river, and I was like, let's just come back on this side. There's no path. It was crazy. There was a little bit of rock climbing and things involved. Yeah, so we got quite a hike in on that one. It was really, really fun. We went to all of our favorite places to eat. I got to visit my friend of mine in Havens, and I got to help out with one of their photo projects because they are an art student like I was. So we took some really cool photos, very witchy photos, out in the dark and cold. It was actually snowing a little bit, but it was super fun and super worth it. These are some of my favorites. This photo, I'm in love with this photo. Basically came back from Marquette, once again did the whole like, I was here in Chicago for a week again, and then straight back out November 1st. Basically what I'm saying is I didn't work very much this month and I'm broke as hell. So on November 1st, which is a Thursday, my brother drove into town and we went to see Ghost. Now, if you don't listen to Ghost and you like metal, goth, satanic vibe and shit, you should check them out. They're really, really awesome. I know Riri Phillips just did a video actually doing a Papa Emeritus themed makeup, which I thought was really cool because I was just like, holy shit, I'm about to go see them, and like there's this other cool YouTuber that I follow who really likes them too. But yeah, my brother was actually the one who introduced me to Ghost, which was kind of funny because I'm the more like alternative one, but he does listen to really good music, and honestly a lot of what he listens to and has listened to in the past is what kind of influenced me into the, like, rock and roll and kind of metal stuff later on. Actually, I get a lot of interest from my brother, which you're about to find out because we did some nerd shit after this, but the Ghost concert, because that's what I want to talk about right now, was fucking amazing. It was honestly one of the best shows I've ever been to. I usually have, I have general anxiety disorder, and I usually have issues going to concerts because usually about an hour in, especially when it's standing room only, which is a lot of shows, standing in a crowd of hot people, just jumping around and dancing, and loud blaring music and stuff really tends to set me on edge, and usually by about an hour in I've got to take a break. I've got to go sit in the bathroom for a while or find a hallway or something and just like kind of get out, drink some water, and I'm fine. But it's not super fun because like obviously I tend to miss some of the concerts that I go to because of it. Didn't have that problem. I went in at like 100 and I left at like 1,000. I was so excited and I danced the whole time. It didn't get too hot even though I was wearing like a leather jacket, which was crazy. I did my makeup all crazy. As you'll see some pictures. You probably have seen a lot of this stuff if you follow me on Instagram. That's where, like, if I'm not being super active on other social media, Instagram is where you'll like kind of be able to keep up with what I'm doing. So if you've been on my Instagram, you've already seen clips from the show and stuff, but I will scroll through a few of them right now because it was so good, and honestly I'm really impressed that my phone even managed to get audio this good at a big loud concert. But there's something very beautiful about a room of like hundreds of people. I don't know how many people fit in Aragon Ballroom, but it was like sold out and shit. Or at least I think it was. So yeah, a couple hundred people like screaming like Hail Satan and doing things and singing the lyrics. Like that's my favorite part of concerts, honestly, is hearing a crowd of hundreds of people just shrieking the same lyrics all at the same time. It just gives me chills and it makes me excited, and it was so good. I would definitely go again. But yeah, here is some of that stuff you can listen to. I'm just gonna eat some Jaffa cakes. Enjoy. that's what we did. We saw Ghost play at Aragon Ballroom. If you have the opportunity to see them and you like them, I absolutely 100% suggest that you do it because they are awesome in person. Their show is super fun, super theatrical. I had a freaking blast, and I would definitely see them again directly after the concert, which was, so it started at like 7 o'clock. 2.5 hours later, we leave, get in the car, drive 5 hours to Detroit. So we also lost an hour with the time change. So at 4 a.m., we roll into Detroit. We get to a hotel because, surprise, now we're at Youmacon for 3 days. So I don't know if I've really talked about this here before or not, but I'm a huge fucking nerd. Again, that's like my brother's fault. I have a lot of similar interests as him because I was like the younger sibling. So I took a lot of inspiration from what he was listening to and what he was doing. I played Pokemon when I was a kid. We watched Yu-Gi-Oh! And Digimon and Pokemon. So I've been to quite a few comic conventions. Youmacon is always my favorite. This is the second time I went. It was just as fun as when I went back in college. It's always a great time. Oh my god. Sorry, my necklace just got stuck to my belly button ring. It was really scary for a second. That could be bad. That's why I shouldn't wear a long necklace and a crop top at the same time. But yeah, if you see behind me here, these are different badges from different cons I went to. There's one right, okay, I'm trying to look on the viewfinder here. This one is from Daishocon in Wisconsin. This one is my Youmacon badge from this year. This one is from ASEN here in Chicago from this year, I believe. So collecting my badges and stuff. I've been to more than that, but these are the only badges that I still have. I think I must have lost / thrown away the other ones for some reason. So Courtney met us up on the way there. So she rolled in at about 4 o'clock too. We stuffed like 12 people into a suite at the Crowne Plaza, which was a terrible idea because the room was tiny. It was not as sweet as we would have imagined it. But it was an absolute blast. Again, I saw a lot of people that I haven't seen in a very long time, people who I hadn't seen since the last time I was at Youmacon, which was awesome. Obviously Courtney was there, which is always a good time because like I loved seeing her, and she and I pulled out a new cosplay. We were Miguel and Tulio from The Road to El Dorado. Usually I'm Loki. Like Courtney and I were always known in college as the roommates Thor and Loki, which is why I have a lot of Loki badges here that I also got at cons. This one is new. Courtney has the Thor counterpart to him. But we have a lot of Thor and Loki memorabilia. We have a lot of costumes. I'll try to post a picture again, but we brought our costumes for that, but we ended up not pulling them out for the actual con. Because it was, I mean, we had 3 days to dress up, but we decided on Sunday that we were done and didn't want to wear wigs and put on a whole bunch of stuff when it was only like kind of a half day. Friday, we were Miguel and Tulio. We had a blast. Courtney edited some photos of us into actual screenshots from the movie, which has been cracking me up. She's been sending them to me today. That was obviously a great time. We played some music with us while we were going around. That was a blast. And then on Saturday, probably my favorite cosplay that I've ever done, we went as Ghost. My brother, I was saying my papa, that's awkward. My brother was Papa Emeritus III. He made his entire freaking costume by hand. I mean, like, he sewed it and shit by hand. He made the hat, the miter. I'm just not gonna put that in there. No, we don't need to listen to me not know how to talk and say Catholic things. I did his makeup for him just because I'm the person who does makeup when I'm around. I made the majority of my costume. I mean, from the waist down, it was just like jeans and boots and stuff, and I couldn't find those freaking what are they called? Little spats for my feet. I couldn't find a good pair of spats, and I didn't want to just roll in with like some shitty ones. So I decided no spats for this one. I'm gonna try and find and or make some later. But the patches on my coat and sash I hand painted. The sash I made 100% from scratch myself. I put all the buttons on my coat because it was just like a blazer for women, so I put all that stuff on it. had a head wrap, and then of course we had the helmets. We met up with someone that we hadn't actually met before, a new friend of ours called Sam, who is from Michigan, and she saw that we were going to be going as Ghost, and she said that she had a Nameless Ghoul cosplay ready to go, so she got hers. We met her up on Saturday, and we walked around the con as Papa and the Nameless Ghouls. We got some pictures in front of a church. My brother was blasting Ghost music from underneath his robes. He had a speaker on so that he could blast music all day. It was honestly one of the most fun experiences I've had in cosplay. It was really cool. I got a lot of like, the people who didn't come up and say anything were still doing the like making eye contact and just being like, yeah, and I was like, it was really fun. So we got a lot of really cool pictures from that. Again, some of my favorite pictures that I've gotten for cosplay. And then the rest of the weekend was playing a whole lot of games. Youmacon has a giant game room that's like super fun, so we played a lot of Smash Bros. Courtney and I played Soul Calibur. We played a lot of arcade games that are only available in Japan, but that they had there. There was this really cool game that was kind of like playing quarters mixed with skee-ball, where you bounce these ping pong balls and you're trying to get them into a hole, but there's little drums everywhere, so if you miss, they'll like bounce all over the place. It was absolutely crazy and really fun, and we got ping pong balls everywhere. There were a lot of rhythm games on like touch screens. Those are super fun. Drumming games. They had tournaments going on the whole time. There was VR that you could play with. That was an absolute blast. We went to one of my friend's panels called Too Old to Cosplay, for anyone 21 and up who still likes to do cosplay things but is also an adult. I got these dope little devil horn things. This is like my big con purchase this year. Because I always try to get like, little buttons and stuff, and I try to bring home little trinkets for Haven for taking care of the rats, and we always try to get little doodads like these guys. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to see. I got the Babadook, he's really happy, and Loki this year. But yeah, I got my little clip-in horns. They're actually not on a headband, they're little like barrettes, and I got this really great bracelet that's just really cute, and the lady made it to fit me, and it says Psycho. And I thought it was really funny because it's all pastel and candy colored and super adorable, and it says Psycho. So that was the kind of end of my whole long month of craziness, and among all of that, I was trying to keep up with Drawktober, painting things in my blood. As I always do, I tried to combine some of the days so that I could get like 2 for 1. And I tried to just, you know, I did what I could. I definitely didn't do every single day for Drawloween or Drawktober or Inktober or whatever you call it. But I tried really hard to get at least some of those because I like to participate in that every year. Unfortunately, because of all this stuff that I've been doing, I definitely didn't have the money to get any Halloween flash tattoos this year like I did last year. I just looked down and saw a whole thing of pumpkin seeds on my floor and realized that I did another thing on another one of the weekends when I was actually here in Chicago. Me and some of my friends drove out of the city to a farm, and we went in a corn maze, and we had warm cider, and we picked out pumpkins, and we went home to my friend's house, and we watched over the garden wall all the way through, and we carved our pumpkins. So that was really fun. Here's a picture of my pumpkin, but I took home a bunch of pumpkin seeds and baked them, which was really good. And basically what I'm saying is that it's been a very fulfilling, very wonderful October. October is always a time that I really look forward to. It's my favorite month of the year, obviously because Halloween, but because like everyone's getting into that spirit of Halloween, so I feel like everyone's like getting on the same wavelength as me for this one time of the year. Because like, I'll carve a pumpkin and watch Over the Garden Wall anytime, obviously. Hit me up in the comments below, let me know what you thought, let me know if you're a giant nerd and you go to cons too. If you got any anime suggestions for me, let me know. That would be good. Eric's gonna be so pissed that I said that because my brother has given me a million anime suggestions and I'm not watching any of them. Most recently I think I finished Violet Evergarden, which is on Netflix and is really beautiful and really good if you're interested. And right now I'm watching season 3 of Food Wars, also a really good anime. I'm really into it. So yeah, that's kind of all the stuff that's happening with me. If you want to check me out on other social media, if you are interested in following my life a little more closely and you're like, dude, you don't post here enough, definitely check out my Instagram. That's where I post most often. Anyways, I'll stop babbling. Hit me up on social media. Everything will be below. My Patreon is also below if you would like to support me as an artist and person. I hope that you guys had just as much fun this Halloween season as I did. Thank you guys so much if you watched this whole thing. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are happy to kind of be caught up on what's going on and see what I've been up to. Let me know what you've been up to. I will see you in the next one, which who knows what or when that will be. Give me ideas and I'll actually film. That's usually the best advice I can give you. If you tell me what you want to see, I'm more likely to actually sit down and film it, because it makes me feel like if you tell me what you want, then I feel obligated to give it to you. So tell me what you want and I will give it to you. That is the message here. Anyways, hope you're having a lovely week and or weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye!